Start seated comfortably on the block. I'm starting with my knees out wide, legs crossed. You could also be on your shins, or you could put a blanket over top of your block. Just make sure you're comfortable and the column of the spine and the skull are stacked. And start taking deep breaths in and deep breaths out. I want you to focus on softening the eyes. Something that we'll be practicing as a complete reset for the head is to soften all of the tissues around the eyes. Often what we'll do is our visual field will become very linear, very forward facing and take over. And what we want to do for this first portion of the practice today is to shut off the visual field on the front and to move our awareness to the back of the skull. So you can think of the front of the skull being third eye, back of the skull being fourth eye. Move your attention and your awareness, even like you're breathing spacious breaths into the back of the skull. And then let the arms settle. Legs are very lightly turned on, so you have a foundation underneath you. And then let the jaw unhinge. Another useful thing is in the morning, if you have access to sunrise, is you could do this in front of the sun and start to replace that artificial light that you get from your phone or a screen with the true light of a rising sun. Or if the sun is setting, both sunrise and sunset are great times to get a lot of sun prana. And turn the palms up. Take a deep, deep breath. Take in almost like you're collecting all the energy around you. Interlace the hands at the top. Just take a good morning stretch. Even lean back slightly. And then exhale, arms down. Do that 2 more times. Inhale, turn the face up as though you're feeling sunshine on the face. Exhale, arms down. One more. Inhale up. Exhale, arms wide. Go really wide with the arms. And then take a block in the right hand. Place the block behind you, left hand on right thigh. Inhale, lift the heart up. Again, keep the face really soft. I even encourage you to keep the eyes closed. Twist. And untwist. Twist. And untwist. Do 2 more. Twist, press the left knee down as you twist. Untwist. Last one. Twist. Lean back into the left sit bone. And untwist. Switch sides. So you can switch the block to the left hand, right hand on left thigh. Inhale, float the heart, soften the face. You can turn the face up, twist. Untwist. Twist. Untwist. 2 more. Come back to center. And place left hand underneath right armpit. And take deep, deep breaths into the right lung. I'm just doing 3 on each side. Switch hands. Now, inflating and exhaling, letting the left lung just relax. Do that 2 more times. Inhale, inflate the lung. Good. And then from here, place your right hand on the right side of your face. And just feel for any sensation, sensitivity in the side of the face. And notice if you're holding the eyes at all, you want to soften the eyes. And then switch, hold the left side of the face. So you'll notice a lot of the practice today is around letting the eyes soften and settle. Putting your awareness in the back of the head, back of the skull. Can you melt the tissue on the left side of your face as though your hand is supporting it and letting it know it can just totally relax. And then come out of that, take one more deep breath, reach the arms up, inhale. Big stretch. And then arms down, exhale. Take the block out, make your way to hands and knees. Few cat and cow, just to mobilize the spine here. Lift the heart up and round. Will be a complicated practice today. And, you know, if you're of that type where you need a hard, complicated practice, allow yourself just to be okay with the softness, the ease, the spaciousness of this. And then shift your whole body back a little more. Take child's pose with the legs. Then take your 2 blocks. Hopefully you have 2 blocks. If not, you can still do this and just steeple your hands. What I want to do here is bring my wrists on top of the blocks. And you fold forward. And at different increments, you might even move the blocks out farther and feel for spaciousness under the armpit. And then from there, you can sway side to side. If you choose, you can put the blocks up high. And then remove the blocks, make your way to your first down dog. Just for interest purposes, if this is interesting for you, one of the things that I'll be focusing on in class, in addition to softening the eyes, is softening and hollowing the armpit. So attempt to do that right now in your down dog. And then also getting access to the hip, in particular, the inner and front side of the hip. Deep breath in. Exhale, reach through the arms, reach through the legs. Walk your feet all the way forward. Forward fold, so I'm pretty wide in my feet, not off of the mat, but feet are pretty wide. Let the head hang, let the arms hang. And then hold the head, hold the sides of the head, and begin pulling, tractioning the neck, the cervical vertebrae. And from there, you can sway side to side. So just imagine everything, all the fluid, if you had any stuff in the head, it's all pooling to the top of the skull. And imagine you're inhaling up through the legs. Do that. And pour any excess out of the top of the skull. So if you have any thoughts, feelings, emotions, sensations that aren't serving you, just let them pour out. We have this term that says, leave it on the mat. Get it out of your head. Good. And then walk your feet together. Bend your knees, stand all the way up. Reach up, inhale. Hands to heart, arms to sides. And from there, you can, again, widen your feet if you want, and just start kind of pulsing, just bouncing up and down. And then as you're here, start moving side to side. Close your eyes if you want to. Again, soften the eyes. I like to close my eyes here because as you bounce and move, the vestibular system will also adjust with you. There's nothing you have to do there. Just let the natural systems of your body do the work. And then move the arms a little wider, maybe gently tapping the front side of the body and the back side of the body. So on one side, we have liver. On the other side, we have spleen, stomach. And on the back sides, we have kidneys as well. So I'm not slapping them, as in, punishing them. What I want to do here is mostly just lightly tap them to activate, to welcome them awake. And then feet back together, arms to sides, reach up, inhale. Dive forward, exhale. Halfway lift, inhale. Plank, step back. Knees down, inhale, float the heart up. Exhale, lower all the way down. Wide hands, come up to cobra. Might be baby cobra, or if you're ready, a little bit higher. And then lower down, exhale. Plank, downward facing dog, up and back. Take 3 breaths, at least 3 breaths. And then step the right foot forward, right toes out, back knee down. Right hand on right thigh, and begin turning the heart up. Twisting, untwisting here. Lift the back knee, come up to easy twist, right block up. Begin pulsing the block. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Block down. It's a funky little twist. You might have to walk your back foot forward slightly. Twist so that you're in knee pile facing the right side of the mat. And if you have a blanket or something you want to tuck under your hips to lift your hips up a little bit, that totally works. Right knee is on top. Reach the right hand out to the right, left arm up. Inhale. Exhale, flatten the right hand, fold to the back of the mat. Relax the neck. So I'm going to turn my face down. But again, you can close your eyes and imagine the eyes kind of just hanging here, drooping. Soften the cheeks. Notice any tension that builds up in the face. Can you dissolve that tension? And then reach the left hand to the front of the mat. I'm hovering my left wrist around the left hip. And open the mouth here. Unhinge the jaw. And feel for this long line. I'm even going to draw the left shoulder back slightly. Feel for a long line from left earlobe all the way down to the left wrist. Flare the fingers open on both hands. Flare the toes open. Hands and feet are quite active while everything else is quite disengaged. There's all the tissue hanging on the bone. And then with a relaxed neck, sit all the way up. Carry your head up, right hand under skull. And come back in reverse from which you came. I'm moving to runner's lunge. And then plank. Knees down. Inhale, lift the heart. Lower all the way down. Wide cobra. Inhale. And down dog. Exhale. Up and back. Take a massive breath in through the nose. Exhale, open the mouth. Left foot steps forward. Tap the back knee down. Turn the left toes out to the left. Left hand can brace on thigh. And then turn heart open. And closed. You got some cracking of the spine. So the nature of a twist is this right hip, I want to keep the right hip almost elevated, maybe even twisting in the opposite direction as my heart twists to the left. And you just get a little extra juice out of the twist. And for those of you who have any SI joint issues, problems, this type of twisting also keeps the back pretty stable rather than adding too much mobility in that joint. Okay, tuck the back toes. I'm readjusting all 10 toes to face forward. Lift up onto the steeple of the right hand, block up and left hand. Reach the arms apart. Again, lift that right hip. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Block down. If you need to make any little wiggles, adjustments with your feet, and then move into knee pile. Left knee on top this time. But notice as you're moving in these transitions, what is the face doing? Is it tense? Is it too focused? Left arm out, steeple the left hand. Inhale, right bicep up over right ear. Flatten the left hand and lean to the side. And then swing the right hand down to hover, wrist hovers that hip. Draw the right shoulder blade onto the back, soften the jaw, even open the mouth here, and draw a line from your right earlobe. You can do that with an exhale, with a long breath. Earlobe all the way down, reach the wrist down. Soften the eyes. You'll want to have a bend, subtle bend in your left elbow here. And then keep a relaxed neck. Slowly sit up. Hold the head, just like you did earlier. Soften the cheek on the face, and then lift the head up. Deep breath in. Untwist. Runner's lunge. Step back. I'm skipping chaturanga. You're welcome to do chaturanga. Some of the effort that we use in our practice is, I'll say, it comes from the realm of productivity that we get out in the world. And I'm intentionally slowing down, adding some new boundaries to practice to get out of that world, to get out of that space. Be okay with being still. Maybe you're shaking a little or a lot. And then step the right foot forward. I'm going to come down into this 90-degree angle in both knees. I'm intentionally tapping my knee onto a flat block here. So what I want to do, it's one of my favorite things to open up space around the shoulder and get access to lymph nodes and different structures of the shoulder. I'm going to bring my shoulder, my armpit right on top of my kneecap and zigzag my forearm on my shin, left hand to hip. And all I want you to do here is just take a big deep breath in, right where the kneecap is. Exhale, soften the eyes. Turn the heart up, inhale. And down. Up. And down. Up. And then walk the right foot all the way to the right side of the mat. Left foot can extend out to the left side of the mat. I still have my armpit here. If this doesn't work for you, simply come up onto your elbow. You could also keep your knee down, that's another option. And then twist and untwist. And as you're here, start slipping the right hip under the body. There's a subtle lean back. And then pause on the third twist open. Look forward. And then you have the option, lift your front toes, maybe even lift the ball of the foot. I'm right up on the heel, look forward, slide the right hip under you again, and then 3, 2, 1. In as many steps as you need, lift up and out, and just take a little walk. Shake the legs out. And then switch sides. So right knee down. Want the left foot positioned up toward the top of the mat. Place index finger, middle finger into armpit. Just give it a little wiggle first. We didn't do this on the last side. But I like this to start to activate the tissue under the shoulder, and then wrap shoulder, armpit directly on top of knee, left hand down. I'm holding my shin here, so there's quite a bit of activity, but it's very soft. Right hand on hip, turn the heart up and down. Up and down. Up and down. Okay, this time turn the heart up. Do 3 more. You can do them with knee down, or I have my feet intentionally wider than usual here. Slide the left hip under, and then 3, turn up and down. On the third one, pause. Heart stays up. Lean back slightly. Lean the back of the skull back. Even here, soften the eyes. Sometimes as it gets a little more intense, the eyes will also get more intense, but look down, lift the toes, lift the ball of the foot. I can even lift my hand here, almost like I'm holding a tray with my left hand. And then 3, 2, 1, many steps as you want. Come up and out and take that little walk. Just shake the legs. Good. Move the blocks off of the mat. Downward facing dog. And take one block under the left shin, step the right foot forward. So it's under the shin, kneecap floats in front. Many of you have done this with me before. Walk the hands forward. And begin swaying the hip side to side. So I'm intentionally opening up the left side of the hip here. We did all that armpit work. Now we're mirroring the hip flexor is essentially the leg pit. The structure is a little bit different, but we're approaching it with the same intention of opening up space. And then if it's available, you could even put a block down or elbow down, slide the left hand under the left elbow, and then turn the heart up and lower down. Up, lower, up. Okay, walk hands back up. Just one last time here. As far as you can, walk your hands forward. Take 3 breaths. So some of you might even have your elbows down. You might have your hands under your shoulders. Make this your practice. Don't make it anyone else's practice. Soften your eyes. You, in addition to softening the eyes, can you soften the tissue of the throat, the gut, that whole line? And walk your hands back under you and position, shimmy your feet so they face the left side of the mat. Move the block out of the way for now. Place your left hand either on your shin or on the blade edge of the right foot. Left thumb, right in hip crease. Relax the head, relax the face, relax the eyes. And then as you inhale, turn the heart up. Little bend in the knees, reach thighs apart, press into the right thumb, and then release everything down. If you can tap the left elbow, tap it. Up, bend knees, reach heels apart, thighs apart, lift the heart, and down. 2 more, up, we'll just do 4. And down, again, back to the attention to SI joint here. Can you reach the left thigh away from the right foot? So that often will balance out the SI joint. So you're not twisting into the joint, you're twisting in the spine where the twist is intended to land. It's another problem that happens for people who are uber mobile. Fold forward. Let everything hang here. If you want, you can take a bind. And then imagine again, all of it, this time the fluid from your torso, from your shoulders, your neck, all pool, like it's pooling at the top of the head. Welcome to close your eyes. This pose completely transforms when you close your eyes. And just subtly feel, without too much effort, more weight shift in the heels, and then your heels reach apart, and your thighs, even the little bones of your butt, your sits bones, your ischial tuberosities, feel them float apart as well. Maybe even start to feel the fluid in your arms shift and drain. And then come up halfway and just let the arms down, let the arms kind of dangle, let them sway, shake the hands out, hands down to the mat, walk yourself back, runner's lunge, and then anything you want. You want to do chaturanga, intentionally skipping upward dog. If that's habitual in your practice, if that's just a productivity thing, let that go. Down dog, up and back. Good. Now, block under the right shin, step forward. Once again, my right kneecap floats just in front of the block. Turn the left toes out, walk hands forward. Pretty neutral right now. I'm just kind of in this easy spot where I can let the right hip flexor open and disengage. And then left elbow down, right hand slides back a little bit. It's more like a push-up, and then turn the heart up, relax down. So I want you to notice every time that the throat, the chain from the throat all the way up to the face, to the eyes, gets activated. And I want you to consciously disengage. Another good way to disengage, this is another theme that's arising. Close your eyes. Move your attention from the front of your skull to the back of your skull. And then walk hands forward. I'm gonna lift up off of elbows. And just take it forward as far as you can go, or as far as works as comfortable. You might notice that I'm constantly wiggling so that my hip doesn't lock. It's a signal to the fascia to continually unravel. And then walk back. Pivot all 10 toes, this time to the right side of your mat. Walk your feet a little bit together, maybe more together than it was before, depending. Right hand to left foot. I'm holding on the blade edge. Some of you might hold the shin. Left thumb in hip crease. Turn the heart up. And down. Up. Down. So I'm constantly just softening in the knees, reaching thighs apart. I might a little more reach my right thigh back away from my left foot to try to ensure low back stays stable. And then come out of this. Wiggle your feet a little closer together, heels in, toes out, and then walk your hands up. I'm shrugging my shoulders here. Just sit low. I'm lifting my toes up as well. You can see there's kind of a little wave that I'm doing side to side. Inhale, float the heart up, the head up. Exhale, twist to the right. Press left hand into inner thigh. Inhale, up. Twist. Up. See if you can do this with your eyes closed. Twist. come down to elbows, if this works. If it doesn't work, you can put your hands on blocks. Now again, draw knees apart, lift the heart. And finally, hands to the ground, turn heels out. Take one more fold forward here. Let the head dangle. And you can turn your head side to side, having like a very subtle assist. Starting to mobilize. You don't need much help to mobilize cervical spine. And just a little extra twist can help. Again, hold the head, pull the head away from the hips, float the hips up away from the head. And then hands down, halfway lift. Walk yourself back to the front of the mat. Knees down, inhale, float the heart up. Lower all the way down. Come to Sphinx. In Sphinx, you can also tuck your toes. You might even put a block between the ankles. And just pause here. Let the head hang for this one. All the tissue, the face, the eyes, just droop. If the legs get really dull, you want to press into the feet. Maybe even lift your kneecaps off of the ground. And make sure you have enough space in front of you. You're going to come to elbows, elbows forward. Your thumbs will be right up by the mastoid process. There's a little divot just under your ear. And then I'm going to trace a line from that space underneath my jaw all the way down so my thumbs eventually meet. And then do that 2 more times. Be mindful as you do this, you're not cranking in the neck. There should be no pain. There's a bit of compression in the back of the cervical spine. Should be ease filled though. 1 more. Up. And then arms go wide, release down. Halfway lift, inhale. All the way down, downward facing dog, up and back. Okay, walk your feet together. Bend your knees, step or flat. Top of the mat, feet flat. Take your time to get there. And then wrap the arms, holding onto one wrist. Your feet could stay on the ground this entire time, otherwise lift up. And just lean the head to the right. Turn the face away, almost like you're getting really dramatic here. Turn the heart to the right. And feel what this does to the left side of your neck. So you want to lean a little to the right. Press your left knee left. And feel that pull from the throat, the earlobe, all the way down to the left elbow. Then take left fingers onto big toe and come up. Knees reach apart, heart lifts. So you gauge how this works for you. What I'm going to do from here is just slowly roll onto the back. And you can move off to one side and sit back up. So that is available. I'm going to just come back to the exact same thing. You could slowly roll back or roll back. And see if you can come back up. Okay, so one of those 2 things. Knees reach apart. We're going to do that 1 more time. Look to the right, lean the head to the right, and roll back. You'll notice there's a bit of trust, commitment that you might have to do. So I'm holding opposite wrist, knees reach apart. You can even wiggle the wrist here. Lean the head up and back. Turn the face. So I am leaning the head to the left here to let all the fluid almost pool to the left side of the head. Now reach your right knee to the right. I feel for the spaciousness around your shoulder. So disengage the shoulder. Reach the right knee to the right. And then take peace fingers up, right heel up, reach heels apart, lift the heart. Okay, so this could be done in stages. If you're really kind of freaked out about this, put one hand behind you and slowly roll back, tuck the chin. Roll off to the side and come back up. We're just, we're so forward facing in our culture. We're not used to being literally on our heels, or we're not used to falling backward. So we'll often panic when we fall. And what I'm doing here is lifting the heel up. Reach the knees apart, lean to the left, lean the head. So we're getting you out of that linear pattern, and maybe you roll back and come back up. Might not work. You might attempt that. Doesn't work. That's okay. Okay, I'm gonna do that one more time. Reach heels apart, lift heart, and go back. Should not touch your head to the ground. Come back up. Good. And finally, then we're gonna move to our back and wrap. Take both big toes. You might have your feet on the ground for this. So do these stages with me. Feet on the ground, lift the heart, and then maybe lift right foot. Go for it. Lift left foot. And then you might start wiggling like crazy and begin extending the legs out wide. Legs go wide, legs go wide. And disengage the shoulders and just start wiggling the arms up and down. So really reach the heels apart and begin to lean to the right. Let the head lean to the right, lean to the left. Let the head lean to the left. And you might go, oh, forward, that's okay. Just set up again. Lean to the left. Lean the whole body to the left. Come back to center. Lift the eyes, soften the eyes. Now again, you want to tuck your chin for this. You don't want to hit your head on the ground, obviously. I'm just rolling back, rolling off to the side, and then coming back up. Okay, let's do 2 more rolls backward. If you also want to switch middle finger, ring finger, you can hold on, develop your hands as we do this. And then maybe see if you can go back and sit up. I don't even know if this is gonna work. Whoa, yep. Okay, one more. Find your way here again and go back. You might go forward. All right, I'm gonna turn around. You can move in any direction you want. I have my 2 blocks. Lie down. And just let your arms go wide. Put your attention on your eyes again. I'm gonna soften the eyes, soften the face. Okay, a little more hip opening here, and then we're gonna twist and complete. We're gonna take a block, just 1 block, flat. Slide it under the sacrum. So it's the hard part of the low back. And others might turn this up 1 more height. So depending on where you want to go, I'm going to turn it up 1 more height. And then from there, I'm going to take my right foot and slide it under my ankle and hold it with the left hand and put my knee on the ground. Okay. And if possible, I'm going to bring my heel up close to maybe even touching the block. And as you do this, your whole body might want to twist to the right. I want to try to keep my chest facing upward, knee pressing down, reach the right knee away from the right hip here. You want to hold the right side of the gut, you can do that. And take these breaths into the gut. Check in with your face, check in with your throat and your eyes especially. Now, like we did earlier where you were expanding a lung on the right, expanding a lung on the left, what I want you to do is to breathe into the right hip like you have a lung in your hip and you're inflating the lung. Go. Good, 2 more. Keep equal pressure in right knee and left foot. And then unthread the right leg. Restabilize the hips. The hips can sometimes get kind of turned around in that. And then switch. Holding on left foot, right hand. The side's a little tighter for me. Just going to be careful with it here. So left knee should be on the ground. If you can't do that, you'll want to turn the block from mid-height to low. And I can already feel my body wanting to kind of drift off to the left. Try to keep hips as stable as possible. They likely won't be level perfectly, that's fine. But press the left knee down and reach the left knee away from left hip. Reach the left hip away from left knee. And slowly unwind, come back to center. Just to rebalance the hips, lift the hips up off of the block into bridge. And close your eyes. You want a restorative bridge, it's always available. And then slowly lower down. Bring your knees into your chest. I like a block in between shins for this. Knees over to left. I'm going to just very slightly wiggle my torso to the right, to the left, and then look to the right. Right arm up, left hand on right thigh. Slowly switch sides. Just wiggle the spine back straight. Maybe wiggle the hips, knees over to the right. And as you land, wherever you land, wiggle the torso to the right, a little closer to the thighs. Left arm up and out. Elbows down, knees to center. Wiggle the spine back straight and move into your final pose, Shavasana. You're welcome to stay here as long as you like. And I'm going to leave you in Shavasana. This will be the end of our practice. And you're welcome to stay through the completion of the practice or stay longer, you choose. And just before you completely melt in, soften the eyes. And now take your attention off of the eyes. Sometimes putting too much attention on something can agitate it. One good way to shift your attention is just to notice all of the skin on your arms, your legs, your torso, your head. And take a deep, deep breath in. Exhale, sigh out. Thank you for taking the time for yourself to practice.